Welcome to Hawaii, everyone. Look alive. You're at the Motorfest.
Gather up, everyone. Photo time. Everyone, settle down. I know you're all excited. That chopper ride is always a trip. So, welcome again to the Motorfest. I'm Malu, the Motorfest PR, and I'm here to get you up to speed. You are our special guests, athletes, festival goers, car lovers, all gathered here in majestic Hawaii. These are the festival grounds, but we've got the whole island set up for you. We've created a place where you can drive anything, from the iconic to the super customized. It's a Motorfest branded, lovingly crafted car culture celebration. We call these lovelies the playlists. And I'm not just reading from the Motorfest app here either. I tried them out before you arrived. And here, let me show you. This playlist is a unique Motorfest experience. It's called Made in Japan. Made in Japan is the way to experience Japanese car culture. It's where tarmac meets tradition. From mountain peaks to city streets, this neon journey is not one to miss. These playlists out for you is what I call a perk of the job. Right in the center of all the action, racing these Japanese drift masters, just awesome. was amazing. But the next playlist was Off-Roading Addict. A chance to race into the wild. Driving off-road gives you an opportunity to carve your own path, to explore the open expanse. The island becomes your playground. Total freedom becomes your creed. By 4s, pickups, quads, you're given every chance to go off the beaten path. Off-roading is freedom, improvisation. But the next playlist is all about the competition. Aptly named the Motorsports playlist, this one is for the pros. Motorsports is built around racing to the top, the thrill of competing. But it's also about strategic choices, decision-making under pressure. No better feeling than triumphing with your team in what some consider the apex of motorsports. Making the call when to go for the pit stop, checking on your rivals, it gets intense. Felt good to be the champion, but then I got to go old school. Vintage Garage, a playlist for the true car aficionado. With these cars, it's not just about the look or the nostalgia. It's how these things drive, how they feel, how they steer. It was quite a challenge, in the best way possible. Outside of some collector car park, when would you ever get a chance to take these venerable legends for a spin? That's the power of Vintage Garage. Taste of an age where there was no nitro to boost you and no GPS to guide you. Feels strangely comforting. Out with the old and in with the new, they say. The next playlist is legendary. Lamborghini. A playlist to truly experience the iconic, the trailblazing. I'm running out of adjectives here. Saw that Lamborghini logo, you knew what this playlist was gonna be. Some of the most recognizable car designs in existence at your disposal. Nothing quite like some of these cars. It's like a speed race through the story of Lamborghini. One of power and innovation. Riding the full roster of these legends was a rare privilege. A privilege Motorfest graciously gave me. And now, it's your turn. Like what you saw? Well, those were just the tip of the iceberg. But we've got to go step by step. Follow me. Look around you. This is what it's all about. Cars, bikes, rides, and good vibes. You'll get to explore the festival soon enough. And let's not forget, we're in Hawaii. And there's no better place to express yourself. Show off your flair. Customize your ride. It's a car culture buffet. Keep up. we're going to go meet the star of the show. Your car, of course. Come on. It's time for you to pick your ride. Once you pick your car, I'll hand you over to Kara, your personal AI assistant. When in doubt, you can always rely on her to guide you.
AI assistance engaged. All engines, go. Hello, driver. I'm Kara. Let me assist you in choosing a playlist. Made in Japan. Race over asphalt and drift through neon in a journey through Japanese car culture. Hawaii's scenic tour. 9/11 legacy. Rule the streets. Join the Donut Media team. A playlist is available, driver. I bet the next experience we have in store will knock your socks off.
The last time you received a speeding ticket?
1 month ago.
Oh, honest. Love that.
That is a story too.
Esa story I cannot tell. Maybe the next one.
Welcome back to Motorfest, the podcast. This is the show where I get to talk to some of the most daring motorsport athletes for their passion for all things speed, wings and wheels. And if you haven't already tried it,
These guys are the real deal. Their philosophy that cars are for everyone, combined with their electric energy, makes their content stand out like, I quote, an above horse in a pasture of ponies.
actually listening whilst you're playing the game, the Crew Motorfest from Ubisoft. My name's Becky Evans, and in today's episode, we're talking to some serious all-terrain motorcycle adventurers, Argentinian World Rally Champion Luciano Benavides and his champion teammate, Australian Daniel Chucky Sanders. These are absolute warriors on two wheels, most notably the KTM 450 Rally Factory. Not your normal motocross bike, and according to Daniel Sanders, it pops and barks like an angry dog. Guys, this machine is one to look out for and listen out for. It is totally kitted out for dunes, rocks, mud, and the brutal forces of rough weather and wilderness. That said, it's only as good as the person behind the wheel. And in this episode, Daniel and Luciano discuss everything from their first bike souvenirs, to crashes, to trophies, adrenaline, tips on how not to get lost in the desert, death-defying drops, and what it means to really risk everything. Dirt biking, just like any motorsport discipline, is all about balance.
I got a question for you guys. And buckle up, Buttercup, because it's a doozy. Freaking lightning, baby! Listen up, you buff horses. I've got 7 questions that you need to answer by getting behind the wheel of some of the most iconic cars the world has ever seen.
Here we go.
The car world is made up of rivalries and unanswered questions. You need to settle them once and for all. More power, baby! Will it be easy? I don't think so.
That's why I love him. He gives the people what they need to hear.
Lightning, 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 lightning! And in the end, I need you to answer the biggest question of them all. Who rules the streets?
That is the most badass thing I have ever heard of.
More power, baby!
This is Rule the Streets. Rolling! What is next in line?
Let's get back to Motorfest, the podcast. Talent, control, speed, agility, and physical endurance. But it's one sport where you definitely need to be prepared to expose yourself to all elements. There's no cockpit, no power steering, just a whole lot of body positioning and great suspension. And of course, no fear. Okay, let's start the show. Right, guys, I'm absolutely delighted to have you. Welcome to Motorfest, the podcast. So we're going to be jumping in.
We're not staying in Honolulu just yet. We'll be joining the donut team at the bottom of the mountain.
This podcast today and talking about your KTM 450s. I mean, I'm going to let you guys know now, my experience on enduro bikes is limited and has often ended in some painful moments. I actually broke my hand because I caught a tree as I was coming past it, so I have absolute respect for what you guys do here. You know, I'm just going to jump straight into it with you guys. If you could be a car, a plane, a boat, or a motorbike, which one would you be and why? I feel like this is going to really tell me what kind of guys you are.
A motorbike, 100%, because it's the best thing ever.
And Daniel?
I was thinking a plane because it's, you know, there's no impacts really. There's turbulence, which is rough, but I'd still go the motorbike because I like hitting the ground and feeling pain, so it's brutal.
Luciano, when you started riding, did you ever think that you would end up competing in the Dakar, or was that always the goal?
No, honestly, when I started super young, and then I remember...
They need you to conduct a special experiment before settling down in the city. I'm not gonna lie, James wants to start big here.
Dakar at my hometown, Salta, in Argentina. And I remember we went there with my family and friends. We camped one night and then we watched Dakar.
I don't want to spoil the surprise, so I'll just give you one clue. The first question involves Italy at its finest.
The next day, it's like a famous canyon where the Dakar was passing there, and I remember watching the top guys in the bikes. It was amazing because when I saw that race, the atmosphere, the adventure, I said for sure I want to be there one day. But at the moment I was racing enduro, and since then I say okay, I will do my best to try to be there one day. But at that moment I was feeling a little bit quite far, and yeah, and with the time was coming, and came the opportunity from KTM, and then yeah, I joined the rally team, the rally program, and then I did my first Dakar in 2018. Was my first. I had 22 years old, so I was quite young for Dakar, but yeah, it was a long way.
I want to hear about your first memory that you can actually remember of getting on a bike. Daniel, I want to start with you.
Yeah, Christmas morning, I think, throwing on the helmet and the new goggles and new glove, and sitting on the bike for the first time. And it's pretty scary because straight away I started on a bike with a clutch and gears. It wasn't an automatic bike, so yeah, my dad put me straight in the deep end, and you just had to learn how to swim and ride. And it wasn't on a flat property. We live on some hills and grass, so it was pretty scary to learn the clutch and yeah, the throttle action as well. So it was cool, but yeah, the whole handlebars and that, and the foot pegs compared to the bicycle that you ride as a kid, a BMX or something. And having an engine do the work for you, and it's all in the palm of your hands to twist the throttle. That's probably the cool, easy sort of adrenaline thing that I got to learn that day, and have that feeling, the first feeling of controlling my own power, I guess. So that was pretty cool morning.
And Luciano, your earliest memory of getting on a bike for you, was it with your big brother or was it with your dad?
Yeah, my first memory is one race, my first race. I remember, I think it was me and probably 3 or 4 more guys from my home. And then I remember I started the race and I crashed. And when I crashed, I was completely lost. And then I remember that I picked up my bike super fast, and when I started again, I was 10 times more motivated than before, and I passed the other guys. And they were actually faster than me.
We'll get it this time. We'll get it this time.
Then because I crashed, I had so much motivation to come back from that. And then, yeah, it was a super cool memory because I had also the first trophy from this race. And I remember the adrenaline that this race gave me was something super, super special.
Would it be correct saying that you guys both lived in quite rural areas, so it kind of helped give you a type of terrain that you could train on?
Yeah, like I lived on like 40 acres on the house, and so that and grass and hills and stuff. So, and then I was fortunate enough that we had like 300 acres of bush and forest behind the apple farm. So we had events there, like enduro races there. So I got to grow up and watch this and then train on these tracks and practice on this property we had from the family. So I was super lucky, but there's definitely no desert where I live, and the situation I'm in now, I have to drive like 5-6 hours to find some desert in Australia is my closest. But you know, luckily in Australia there's a lot of sand and a lot of desert out there. So yeah, I'm lucky, and I still haven't even had time to venture out in the desert much in Australia because we're always traveling around and doing other things.
Can you describe to me your bike? I mean, what does it look like? What does it sound like? What's unique about it?
The engine is super strong because we have to ride in Dakar we're like 15 days with the same engine. So basically it's a super powerful engine, and you feel it super strong. Also in the vibration and everything is a lot of power to go through the desert. And also as a design is one for me is the best design we have it because it's super cool with all the colors and it fits super nice, and I think it matches the desert colors, and of course one of the most important parts.
Ferrari and Lamborghini have been rivals since they were babies. It's true, but don't look it up. Before we set up camp downtown, you'll be racing through the countryside in the Italian supercar of your choice. Either the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta or the Lamborghini Huracan. Which beast owns the mountain? The Italian Stallion or the Stromboli Bully?
The Ferrari. Saddle up, you Italian cowboy.
Hey, James here. I'm talking to you from this drone. Well, I'm not actually in the drone. That would defeat the entire purpose of a drone. That would be a helicopter. It will follow you the whole time and take some awesome shots for our videos. Not in a weird way. Anyway, have fun. Automobili Lamborghini versus Ferrari. Man, I am so pumped. No pressure, but these cars are like really expensive, so try not to crash and burn, okay? Dang, dude, what a viewpoint. It really makes you think. I should have mentioned there's gonna be turns. Sorry.
We'll get it this time.
How we feeling about our choice down there? Not having second thoughts, are we? Italian power! Give me the gravy, Grandma! Lamborghini uno, Ferrari zero.
The podcast continues.
One of the most important parts is also the suspension, because we have to set up the suspension for...
Now that you've met the donut team, you probably have a better idea of what you're getting into.
Okay.
But trust me, you're still in for a few surprises.
We are not motocross riders or enduro riders that you can get a setup for a specifically condition. We have to set up the bike for dunes, rocks, vegetation, mud, piste, fast, slope.
From now on, the city's going to be your playground. And your first urban challenge will be a rough and tumble American street brawl. I can't tell you much more right now. We agreed that James will be the one to give you all the details.
It's many different terrains, so you have to be super precise on the suspension. That is one of the most important parts of the bike.
And Danny, what if you were to describe your bike to somebody, what would you say?
It's we'll start off with the exhaust pipe, because that's what's getting the most beaten up all day. Is the throttle stuck on pretty much all day through the desert, and it's just popping through the dunes, barking through the dunes like an angry dog. So it's really cool. It's a straight through exhaust. It's not like your normal motocross bike where
the exhaust comes sort of across the middle of the bike. This one.
Yeah! All right, tough boys and girls, you think you've got muscles? Well, how about you take it to the streets in a Chevy Camaro Z?
The Camaro ZL1. Go get that dinner.
In the muscle car's natural habitat, the concrete jungle. How's it feel?
This a do-over.
I'm sure it'll buff out. Flex that car's muscle. I'm flexing right now, you just can't see it. Sorry, that's just the drone talking. He's very excited. Don't mind him. Oh, hey! I used to live in that building. The buffest American muscles. Let's find out. Oh, watch out for that curb. hammer down. Dang, that Shelby done got you good.
The podcast is back on. Our guest still has plenty of things to say.
Two exhausts that come motocross bike where the exhaust comes sort of across the middle of the bike. This one goes under the frame and then down low and then comes up and hangs out the back right near the rear fuel tank. So it's straight through.
Leave no playlist unfinished, driver.
There's no baffles in there, no filters. It's just straight loud noise. So that's really cool. But yeah, we have one other thing that's with our bike that's pretty easy to see that's different to any other motorbike is the navigation tower on the front. Now we have a digital roadbook on the front, so that's how we navigate through the desert. And it's like a windshield on the front, like a MotoGP bike. It's like a windbreak for us, so it throws the air over our helmet when we're riding fast and helps our body weight as well, so we're not getting pushed back by the wind.
I think that's one of the most impressive things. You know, I went to the Dakar and we were in the bivouac, and this was like probably 2-3 years ago now, and I could not believe that they had like manual road like maps. So it was like giving the instructions of where you had to go, but it was on like a roll of paper or something. And I was watching the guys do that, and it was one of the most impressive things that this was kind of like a manual road map, right, road book as to where you were going.
Yeah, so that's this year they've just changed the system. So now for us riders, it's gone to the digital, and before was the paper. So we just got a big paper scroll in the morning, and yeah, we had to shove this in the front of the bike.
Can you tell somebody? Explain it for someone who would be riding your bike in the game, like just how difficult is it when you're following the pace notes, you're trying to find your waypoint, it might be getting dark by this point. Like, what's that like as a rider when you're getting so far into the rally and you maybe lose your way for a second?
If you see the darkness, it's like, you know, you're having a bad day because you shouldn't be finishing the stage in the dark, and you've probably got lost for a fair way. So it's like, me and Luciano have both opened a Dakar stage. So to open all the vehicles out in the day and there's no lines in front and everyone's pretty much counting on you to make that right perfect line in the sand dune so everyone can follow and it's easy navigation. So there's a lot of pressure, and also you've got to ride as fast as you can as well. But one thing I like to explain to people, like so they could see from our eyes, is like, imagine yourself going to work. All the traffic is like it's full gas traffic everywhere, and like the world freezes, but you have to race through the traffic as fast as you can to get to work and navigate like on a scooter, say, or something like that. Like that's, you go as fast as you can with no rules. There's no speed cameras, there's no red light cameras. The world's frozen. You just go as fast as you can and get to your work.
We want to talk about dream vehicles. Tell me your ultimate dream vehicle, Luciano. What would it be? Tell me about the colour, the sound, the customizations. If you could take me for a tour.
Let's try that again.
Of this, what would it be?
Lamborghini Urus.
Oh, Urus.
Black.
Yeah?
Yeah, full black.
All black. I was.
Black.
Oh, you'd have been so jealous. I was with Lamborghini last weekend. We were taking the new V12, the Revuelto, out for a nice drive round Tuscany. I didn't.
Nice.
You're a Lamborghini guy. That makes sense.
Yeah, Lamborghini guy.
He likes a black. So he's like a black on black Urus. Super stealth. All black.
All black.
You'll go for the Performante, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Daniel, what's your dream vehicle?
My dream vehicle would be a bulldozer with a bike rack on the back, so I could make as many tracks in the bush and make some sick tracks, and then unload the bike off the back and just ride it and free ride and do some stuff. I literally thought of that on the spot because I didn't even think of a dream vehicle until then. I'm like, oh, it'd be good. I like sitting on machines and building tracks and jumps and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then you just drive it around wherever you can, and then infinity diesel tank, so it just keeps going.
Luciano, where would you take yours?
What I would take mine? not in the dunes. No, 100%. I don't know.
The Donut Crew has all kinds of shows on their channel. In one of them, they pit cheap parts against the high-end versions. It's called Hilo, and that's exactly what you're going to get a taste of now.
Miami.
Or Dubai.
Or
Dubai.
Yeah. I know what he would be doing.
No.
Just that arm and having the arm out the side, just winking and
That's right,
whistling.
Luciano, if I was to come to your garage at home, do you have like a prized collection of bikes? I mean, do you have all the ones that you've had from when you started riding when you were young, all the way up to the grand age of 29 that you are now?
Yeah, I have. We have a really cool garage with Kevin. At home, and we have the first bike that I had that I rode, the Pee-wee 50, and Kevin has it was a QR 50 or something like that. So it's super small bikes, and we have also the jersey from that moment. And then we have one enduro bike that we both together, and we won the championship. And then I have my winning bike from 2019 when I was the junior world champion in rally. This one I keep at home, and also I'm waiting now for the last one from last year, the Iguana. And Kevin has the Dakar bike from 2023, and yeah, I hope it's coming a few more.
And Daniel, if I was to walk in, take a wander into your garage on the like wherever you are in Australia, what would I find?
A lot of everything. There's definitely a couple championship bikes. Luckily, I purchased when I won them. It was a pretty cool moment winning the first Australian outright championship on the 300 KTM two-stroke. So that's one of my favourite bikes of all time, really. And then the second one I've got there is Husqvarna 501, which I won the international 6-day enduro outright on too. So that was one I definitely had to grab and not let the team sell. And I bought that as well, so I've pretty much got all my savings in motorbikes. And yeah, I built up another really cool gas bike. I won a desert race on in Australia, all painted frames and factory engine and suspension in there. So that was pretty much like a bling bike build. I had a mate that had a paint business, so he offered to paint up the frame any color I wanted and all the bits. So that was pretty. It would definitely look cool in Luciano's Lamborghini. And
what color was the frame? What color did you pick?
Because it was gas. I don't like a candy red, so it was like it popped pretty good. But when you put the big tank on the front for the desert, it covered it up a bit. But yeah, I painted the swing arm like I forgot the color. It was like a charcoal, a gloss thing, and yeah, the candy red paint definitely looked nice as well. You wanted to take a bite of it, and then with some race fuel in there as well, it just gets you going when you smell that in the garage too. So yeah, they're the three at the moment. We've got the rally bikes in there and a lot of beehives in there as well. That's in the garage. So sometimes when I'm spinning the honey out of the bees, they like to come in and sting me while I'm working on bikes. So they're very friendly.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about that if I was just sort of in my garage trying to get some stuff out of those bees in there. I would have absolutely run for my life.
That's why I don't need to lock up the bikes. I got them as security guards, so no one goes in when there's bees around. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Various tricks or stunts that you guys have tried?
Probably dropping off big dunes.
Yeah, I did one massive one time. It was the craziest jump I ever did in my life. I didn't want to jump, I just missed a dune. I was thinking it was flat on the other side, so I arrived super fast going up. And then I was too much motivated because I saw a helicopter. And then suddenly the dune was cut, I don't know, 10 meters or something, and then it was like a big drop. And then again, another one, and then back again.
That's crazy.
When I was there, I said, it's game over, for sure. I'm out.
That's crazy.
And yeah, luckily I land super hard, but didn't crash. Like I just landed and get stuck in the next field.
Oh my goodness.
Hit my helmet with the tower. I remember I had pain in my neck for the rest of the Dakar, my wrist, my knees, my back, everything, but I didn't broke, nothing. So it was quite spectacular, and I wish I get this video. I don't know. No, didn't happen.
Doesn't count if it's not a video.
Yeah.
I should have pop in here and just say to the listeners, I mean, don't try any of these things at home. Like, these guys are professionals. Daniel, what's your biggest off that you've had?
Probably like that road section when I smashed the elbow. That's probably one of the scariest, but wasn't really a stunt. Like it wasn't really a small curve. But yeah, I've got a similar story like for Luciano. Like in the desert in these dunes, we try to read the terrain as fast as possible, and in the dunes it's really hard to make up time. So you have to ride the limit, and reading the shape of the dunes is definitely the hardest thing, especially when the sun's directly above you. You have no reference, so you're risking it. You're playing Russian roulette with your life pretty much on these dunes if you're really pushing for the win of the Dakar and any other race with big dunes. So yeah, I got lost this one day, and then I lost like 15 minutes after having a really good day, and was pretty angry, and I was pushing through these dunes.
Let's try that again.
There's like 6 and they're all the same size, like the same shapes, and you jump off them and you gauge a little bit more. Okay, these set look like okay.
And during this workshop, you'll be driving the oh-so-lovely Nissan 370Z Nismo.
Must have got to the 7th one, and I've just launched off it. And mid-air, you just free falling in the air, and you look down normally because there was 6 or 7 riders in front of me that day already, so you could see the lines in front in the sand. So I looked down like over the front of the bike, and I could see there was lines there, no bodies there, so I knew everyone survived the drop because surely some people have missed it as well. And I've seen one, like, you know those chalk lines after the murder scenes and that? There was one of them down there. And you can see in the scene it's just a splatter and like the helmet and footsteps, so you know someone's crashed, but they've got up and they've survived. So while I was mid-air, I was looking at all this and trying to see my outcome. And anyway, I've landed full, like, you try and absorb as much as you can through your limbs, so your elbow, your knees, and ankles, whatever's in that joint in your wrists. And then I had a dicky left shoulder, so when I've landed the bike, I've stayed on the bike and not crashed, used all the suspension, and then my hands have gone, like my arms have gone forward as the bike's gone forward and taken off, and then my left shoulder dislocated, and then I rode up like 10 meters and had to like pop it back in and then continue riding because it was still like 100 k's from the finish. So that's probably one of my coolest jumps I've done.
Yeah, that sounds pretty eventful. I mean, I'm trying to think what my worst one would be. I think it was when I was drifting once and I was still learning, and I came out of the corner in 3rd gear. The car swung back the other way, but what I hadn't banked on was there was a 6x6 tyre bale. And like I have an S15, and the overhang over the back wheel is just that little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I came like 60 miles an hour sideways, hit
Whiplash.
the 6x6 tire bale, and oh my god, I've never cracked my head off the roll cage harder than that in the rest of my life. 'Cause you're just not looking for it. You know, you're looking the other way because you're obviously like you're drifting that way. And oh my god, the bang when that happened, I was like, I got fright, a massive fright. We're going to jump into a quick fun quiz because we're just about to start winding up the podcast here. We're going to get you with some rapid fire questions. So I want you to come up with the first thing that comes to your mind. So I'll give you some options. So what would you rather, extreme cold or extreme heat?
Extreme heat.
Heat.
Riding by day or riding by night?
Day.
Day.
The last time you received a speeding ticket?
Oh.
1 month ago.
Ooh. Honest. Love that.
That is a story too.
That's a story I cannot tell. Like, what is your story? Maybe the next one.
And Daniel?
Nothing is more iconic than low car, except for high car. In this time attack, you'll get to drive both 370Zs for 1 lap each on the same track to find out for yourself what the difference between cheap mods and expensive mods really is.
All right, hotshot, let's see what you can do with that setup coming straight from the sale rack. Give it the beans! There's ramps. One shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime, yo! Well, that car's done. Upgraded. Let's rip. Okay, we've done the whole part switching thingy, brakes, tires, suspension, exhaust. Only the best for my baby. The straight line. Time to put that Nismo high car to the test. Punch it! start driving right now, but I just want to call out that I'm doing a really good job flying this drone. It's my first day. Nailing it.
Back to our podcast.
As you know, we're sticking to urban terrain for the next event, but we're kicking the intensity up a notch. Motorfest has provided Donut Media with 2 incredible cars, and knowing James, you can be sure they'll be put to good use.
Love that.
That is a story too.
There's a story I cannot tell. It's a good story. Maybe the next one.
And Daniel?
I should really keep the details to myself, but I can't help teasing you a little. So, just picture this. Downtown hypercar battle.
I reckon probably 4 or 5 years ago. I've been a good boy. I just haven't got caught.
I feel like Luciano in his all black Urus is just going to be hot ticket.
He was nearly an all orange, actually.
Different orange.
Do you sometimes talk to your vehicles?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. A lot.
What do you say to her? Is it her or him? Her, I'd say.
At Dakar this year, there was a lot of words said.
Please
to the
don't
bike.
hurt me.
Now they're a lot nicer. I purr to it and stroke it. It's nice.
Good man. List in order of preference. Tarmac, dirt, gravel, sand, water, or ice. And ice.
I can't remember all them 5.
Top 3.
Dirt, sand, gravel.
Luciano, what's your top 3?
Dirt, sand, tarmac.
What are your current favourite music tracks to listen to on the road? I want 1 for holiday mode, 1 for race prep mode, and 1 for race mode.
Faster. You go.
Yeah, reggaeton for all floats.
I like that. Any particular favourite? Like, who's your favourite reggaeton artist?
Bad Bunny.
Dad Bunny, of course.
I'm just getting such a vision of him now in the Urus with the Bad Bunny playing out there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm seeing you for who you are right now, Luciano.
More power, baby! Motorfest gave us 2 hypercars with more power than anyone would ever need. Choose between the Bugatti Tintorice and the Koenigsegg Jesko and race through downtown Honolulu. Which car will set the new downtown speed record? And who will split an order of shaved ice with me? Hey, can we get some shaved ice on set? Oh yeah, good luck.
Whoa, someone woke up in a new Bugatti.
Partnering with Motorfest comes with some pretty sweet perks. Check out these 2 spaceships they lent us. This car is too fast. You are a psychopath. I love you. Respect the car. After the docks, how about a little tour of the countryside? Nice neighborhood. Pretty sure you're ruining the property values, though. Agree that you guys are destroying the previous downtown speed record, but which car's gonna set the new record? The suspense is killing me. I gotta sit down. 150 kilometers per hour in the city? I don't know, that's gotta be at least 100 miles an hour. line is right there. More power, baby. The Koenigsegg won, but trust me when I say that your Bugatti also made quite an impression today.
All right, let's keep talking.
Bad Bunny, of course.
I'm just getting such a vision of him now in the Urus with the Bad Bunny.
Our new destination, Diamond Head. Let's set forward.
Me playing out there, like I feel like I'm seeing you for who you are right now, Luciano.
No time for surfing, time for drifting.
And you, Daniel?
Country vibes right here. Chill, definitely cruising on the road section, so it's definitely a bit of country. And then before, for a bit of pump up.
I'm only allowed to give you one hint. You'll be driving one of James's all-time favorites.
I'll go with a bit of 90s rock, 2000 early.
That's the vibe. I love that. So, as you know, Motorfest, the podcast, is about the different motorsport disciplines you can find in the new Season 6 of the Crew Motorfest, be it off-road, be it flying, motorbiking, or GT cars. If you guys, for whatever reason, had to make a career change, which of these disciplines would you choose and why? So you could be any other discipline. You could be a rally car driver, you could be a MotoGP rider, you could be any other discipline. Would you still pick rally or would you change?
I think I stay rally.
Oh, you stay rally, do you?
Yeah.
I wish I got to go to Supercross and Motocross. Yeah, that's probably the pick I'd go to. And then go to rally after that.
What is it, if you could explain it to people, why rally raid, why rally bikes? In this, like, if you'd explain it in a couple of words.
Just the adrenaline in the desert, the freedom is unreal. It's something you cannot experience it in another sport, even if it's MotoGP, Formula One, whatever it is. I think it's completely different. And it's with the nature, it's more open, and yeah, it's nice.
And that's it for today's episode of Motorfest, the podcast, with Daniel Sanders and Luciano Benavides. I had so much fun getting into the gritty details of what these guys do for a living. And I just love this line from Daniel. He said, imagine yourself going to work, it's full gas traffic everywhere, and the world freezes, and you have to race through the traffic as fast as you can, navigate with no rules. There's no speed cameras, no red light cameras, the world is frozen. That's pretty much what we have to do every day for 14 days straight. Guys, this was exhilarating. I'm almost ready to give rally riding a go myself. If you love this episode, make sure you binge the rest of the series on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and we will see you again next time.
So I think if I was invincible and I could be young forever, I'd probably still be trying to jump further distance records with the bike the way it is. But For me, there's one goal left for me, and that's all I'm working on. So I'm not here to replicate nothing, to do shows around the world. I think those days for me are gone. I just want to do my masterpiece, right? That's all I'm working on is my masterpiece, and then I'm done.
My name's Becky Evans, and welcome to Motorfest, the podcast, brought to you by Red Bull and the iconic game from Ubisoft, The Crew Motorfest. Now, this is the podcast where I get to chat with some of the world's finest motorsport athletes, and I get to delve into their passions of all things speed, wings, and wheels. And you know what the cool thing is? You can actually listen to this podcast whilst you're playing the game. So jump into your dream vehicle, sit back and relax, and get ready for the show. Let's go. Now that is the sound of the KTM 450 motorbike that you can actually play in the game. Now this bike has got you covered on road, dirt, sand, and even on water, thanks to the very special Motorsurf edition, which has been designed by the athlete that I am joined by today, Robbie Madison. Robbie, thank you so much for having me here at your home.
No worries, Becky. It's an absolute pleasure, and I'm super excited to have my bike in the game, the Crew Motorfest.
No, delighted. I mean, you are a freestyle motocross champion, legend, like absolute pioneer of the sport, and to actually see this place after seeing so many videos of it is kind of crazy when we were driving in.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very blessed. It's been an amazing career, and I've been able to do incredible things. Red Bull has literally given me wings, and it's been amazing, to say the least of it. And this house has become home, and it's the dream that I envisioned. And now we get to ride dirt bikes here. I get to share with my kids, and this is a home base for all these crazy ideas. And then we come back here and refocus, reset, and set off on our ways to take on more adventures.
Now, you started off, in New South Wales in Australia. You were an electrician to begin with, and then you found freestyle motocross. You've done backflips over Tower Bridge in London. You've jumped over, it's the Arc de Triomphe in Las Vegas. I mean, just so many incredible jumps. I remember seeing the video of you doing the ski jump as well. You're a record breaker and a dream chaser. Do you think I've missed anything out there? I mean, there's so many stuff that you've done in your career, but those are the ones that, even as a fan myself, that really jump out.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, there's been a lot, one of the coolest things for me is inventing the motorcycle to ride on the water. Just because I grew up at the beach in Australia, I grew up surfing. If I hadn't been a motorcycle rider, I would have been a surfer. And to be able to combine the two of my two favorite things to do is a dream come true. So it just, one day it just kind of hit me that I could make it right on the water with addition of like some wakeboards under the wheels. And I've seen a lot of people copy it, and it's something that works. And to be able to take it on a wave was just insane. But I'm excited that you get to do it in the game now. The players are going to be able to ride.
Now's your chance to get sideways, muchacho. You'll be
Game on! Go drift, my friend. Go drift to your heart's content. This place is amazing. It's like a playground for drifters. That's what they say about Los Angeles these days. And now, you're a certified drifter.
our podcast.
Some wakeboards under the wheels, and I've seen a lot of people copy it, and it's something that works, and to be able to take it on a wave was just insane. But I'm excited that you get to do it in the game now. The users are going to be able to ride their bikes in Maui, and
Going fast brings incredible sensations for sure, but no need to reach extreme speeds to get a proper challenge.
catch waves and feel some of the excitement I felt. So I'm really stoked with Motorfest and the crew. It's awesome that it's gone this way.
So Robbie, if you could be a car, a plane, a boat, or a motorbike, which would you be and why?
I would definitely be a plane. I just love flying. It's all I've wanted to do, and I think that's why motorbikes became so cool to me, because it was catching these little moments of being able to fly. And as I've got older, I've just...
Meaning? Well, you'll have to go to Honolulu Airport and get on the tarmac to figure it out. The team is waiting for you there with a whole different type of car this time. A high-performance pickup truck by Ford, the F-150 Raptor.
Further, and now that I'm a pilot and I'm able to fly, it's just the coolest thing ever. And yeah, if I had the choice, I'd be a plane, because you can go wherever you want to go.
I saw a quote where you were talking about how your mind is like Tetris, and you're just trying to put it all together and figure out how to create new crazy stunts. Like, how does one thing become from dream to reality?
I think ultimately it's just figuring out the path of how to get there. For the most part, when I designed the bike to go on the water, the dream was to always ride it on the water. And, I had the dream for a long time, and just one day it clicked. And I think it's been like that with a few things, wanting to, when I jumped on the building in Las Vegas, I knew I didn't want to just keep doing distance jumps, and I knew I wanted to do something that was a cool spectacle, and it wasn't about just having a jump and putting things in between it, like Fonzie did with the shark tanks and like evil.
You're closing in. Gather all your focus and dexterity. You're gonna need it.
With the buses, that was cool, but it had already been done. I wanted to do something different, and that's really all I did. I just set my intention. I kind of put out of the universe that I wanted to find something different, and I just stopped thinking about it. I stopped worrying about it. I just had the thought that if it's meant to be, it'll come to me, and if it's not, then it's not meant for me. And once I just kind of let go in that way and stopped putting pressure on myself to come up with something, and just went about being engaged in the moment of my life, then all of a sudden it just hit me again. I was driving past the hotel, I was on the freeway, and I just saw the hotel passing by, and I just realized with the speed I had and the right ramp, that I could jump on top of that hotel. And then I had the idea, I'm like, with the right ramp and the right speed, I could jump onto a big building and I could jump off of it. And so that's how it went. I think a lot of the ideas for me, just come through letting go of the stress of trying to figure it out and just going about living my life and enjoying what I love. And then all of a sudden these new ideas come, and that's led
One more time.
me to my current thing that I'm working on. I have a new idea, and it's just come from me doing what I love. And I've been flying airplanes, I've been wingsuiting, I've been skydiving, and it's inspired me to go in a different direction again. So it's exciting.
Okay, let's talk about that. I mean, your next frontier, we're talking aerospace. You want to see your bike take to the skies. Walk me through what that looks like.
Well, it's a little early yet. I mean, that is the goal. I mean, I've been in the skies with my bike since I've been a little kid, and just to try and go further and farther is the goal. And ultimately, the last time I did a world record jump, I landed so hard that my front wheel exploded, and I ruptured my back, from jumping so far. I ruptured 2 discs in my back. So I know that it needs to be aerodynamic, and I've learned that a long time ago. Just finding the right team and finding, like you said before, it's like a Tetris, right? So it's not just about me and the team, it's about all the other elements. So I'm working on that. I'm not exactly sure what it looks like, but I am very hard at work, and I'm hoping to be able to unearth it here shortly. So there'll be more on that to come when things get a little bit more planned. But for now, it's just, in the planes, flying. I just got the new wingsuit, the Freak, so it's the biggest wingsuit that they have, and I haven't flown it yet, so I'm excited to get out in that thing. And you're literally like a bird. It's from when you skydive, you can kind of, it's different shapes, kind of control how you fall in the sky. And in a wingsuit, obviously you're in the suit, so if one arm is extended out further on a different angle than the other arm, you'll start to turn a certain way. So you really have to be flying this shape of like an aircraft, like a bird, and it's so insane. Because when I was a kid and I ever had like spare change and I'd throw it into the pond or into a fountain, I'd always make a wish. You know, you make a wish in the wishing well. So I'd always wish that I could fly, and it's come true. You know, it's really has. I honestly feel like when I jump out of a hot air balloon in a wingsuit, I'm like literally flying, and it's the coolest thing. You have to face your fears to live your dreams, and one of the biggest fears I had was heights, and you know, just the integrity of the parachute. And when I didn't mind free falling, but when I pulled the parachute and I had these strings coming off me holding this canopy up, I just didn't have faith in that. But after I did my accelerated free fall course and I learned how to pack a parachute, I kind of understood the technology of it and I got faith in it. And so now I kind of got over a fear, and to me that's one of the most liberating things in my life. Is like, you know, people say they have fears. I think one of the coolest things to do is to face your fears and get past them, understand them and address them and work through it. Because that's, if you just say I have a fear and I'll never go there, then you're just limiting yourself. So if you're humble and bold enough and courageous enough to, you know, address it and be honest with yourself and go through the uncomfortable part of like dealing with it and getting past it, then you open up a whole new meaning of life and new experiences.
I mean, absolutely, just even looking at your track record of things. I mean, when you are planning a new stunt, I feel like you look at it in a way that it's not just the actual outcome of being able to achieve it. You're looking at the physics and the geometry of it and how you actually achieve it in a physical way.
Yeah, I think for everything I've done, like a lot of people say, who designs these things for you? Who does it? And it's like, it's me, you know. So I think you have to have that, you know, and it's not like all me, but it's like me as far as like I'm driving the bus, and I have someone else navigating for me. And the person navigating is usually smarter and more experienced and knows it. But it's ultimately it's my call on where we go and which turns we make and what it looks like and what the ultimate the decision, the final decisions is usually in my hands.
Of all of the stunts that you've done, I mean, we've got the backflip over Tower Bridge in Las Vegas. We had the Arc de Triomphe, even the long ski jump. Is there any of them that you particularly think, yeah, that's the one where I really thought I've done an amazing job here?
I think the jump on and off the Arc de Triomphe in Las Vegas was so like rattling for me as a human, and what it ultimately came to was that this is what I dreamed about doing my entire life, and if I didn't have the courage to follow through with this, then I'm just never going to know what my life could have been, you know. And so I always dreamt of this opportunity to be on a spectacle like Evel Knievel, you know. That's what I really dreamt of as a kid. I wanted to have an opportunity to do world-stopping stunt where the world's watching and be able to push through it. And now I had that opportunity, I had to decide whether I was going to let fear stop me, because a lot of the people involved with the production were like, this is so crazy, we can't believe you're doing it. And they would like reassure me, there's no one here from our department that's putting pressure on you. If you don't want to do this, we totally get it. You don't have to do this. And I was like, no, I actually have to do this to answer my own question. And so that's what I realized through all my digging, was that this is more of like a question of myself. And now it's time for me to figure out if it's meant to be or not. And I had total faith and total belief that if it's meant to be, it'll be. And if it wasn't, well, then that was just how my life was meant to go. And I had total peace with that, you know. So I was really calm before I did the jump, knowing that, you know, I think the practical side of my head I had to turn off. So the fear side of things, I had to like just stop listening to it, because it was like driving me insane. And I was like sick before, like literally vomited, thinking about that kind of stuff. So eventually I got to the point where my own psychosis was like making me physically sick. So I had to just turn that off. So that made me that's where the meditating came in. So I had to like turn my mind off. And it was so freeing to like just not have this internal voice anymore, because I had it going on my whole life, and now I literally don't have it anymore. But it took me a long time to quiet my mind. It's like literally something you have to work at very hard. And then obviously when I landed and it pulled off, I was like, well, this is it was meant to be. You know, it's made. I think that was a prerequisite for my mentality, because then when I got on the motorcycle in the water, and I'm out at Chopu and the waves are 20-foot faces, and I'm like on a dirt bike in the water, I'm thinking, oh man, this stupid idea. And when that wave crashed down in front of me, that was the heaviest moment of my life. And it was 10 times, you know, and even when I jumped the Corinth Canal, you know.
It's like it never happened.
The fear of facing to jump the canal was worse than in Vegas. So Vegas was really, and then the jumps before, but everything's been a prerequisite to get me to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. And whatever you do, whatever skill you want to harness is when you sharpen a knife, you see it get sharper, and so it's nice to have a sharp knife.
It's very impressive. I will say, whenever I'm sat at the start line in my drift car about to compete, I'm like, I know how to do this. I know, you know what you're doing. You know which gears you're going in. And then, like, just like you said, that little voice like, yeah, but what if you spin? What if you don't downshift at that point? And I'm like, shut up, it's fine. Everything's gonna be totally fine. You're famous for pushing boundaries and setting new records. So how are you refining your bikes to help you achieve these?
That's a tough question. Ultimately, I'm working towards my own goals. I think if I was invincible and I could be young forever, I'd probably still be trying to jump further distance records with the bike the way it is. But for me, there's one goal left for me, and that's all I'm working on. So I'm not here to replicate nothing, to do shows around the world. I think those days for me are gone. I just want to do my masterpiece, right? That's all I'm working on is my masterpiece, and then I'm done. So I'm not really in it for the long haul, but I think manufacturers are doing a great job. The bikes are getting better every year. Obviously, we are on the brink of the electric era, and that's going to change the game for everyone, whether they like it or not. But I think the exciting side of it is the electric side of it brings a lot more power. It's instant, and the characteristics of the bike become a lot different.
So we know you're a capable driver. What if you don't have any brakes? You'll be driving this Ford Raptor SVT, and I say driving, but you're stuck in cruise control, and you cannot use your brakes. Oh. And did I mention every lap you get faster? So how clean can you drive when slowing down isn't an option?
Riddle me this, coneheads. How do you win when everyone's going the same speed? That's right, your cruise control is locked and you've got to weave through a whole bunch of cones. But don't even think about touching them. This is simple. Each cone that you touch gets you a penalty. Make a perfect lap and you get a big old bonus. Imagine each cone is the cutest, buffest horse you've ever seen. You wouldn't run over a horse, would you? Nay, sir. Nay. Well, I guess that's one lap. Good job. I don't know if your robot assistant told you, but I may have forgotten to install the brakes. Stop goofing around! Riddle me this, coneheads. How do you win when everyone's going the same speed? That's right, your cruise control is locked and you've got to weave through a whole bunch of cones. But don't even think about touching them. This is simple. Each cone that you touch gets you a penalty. Make a perfect lap and you get a big ol' bonus. Imagine each cone is the cutest, buffest horse you've ever seen. You wouldn't run over a horse, would you? Nay, sir. Nay. Well, I guess that's one lap. Good job. I don't know if your robot assistant told you, but I may have forgotten to install the brakes. Your mom on speed dial, so you better keep your driving clean and tidy. How clean can you drive with no brakes? Well, I'm starting to get an idea. Sorry, is this truck too big for you? You want a widow baby car to make it easier? Well, too bad!
One more time.
Clever girl. Get it? Get it, like in the movie? Is it opposite day? Because you clearly got the rules mixed up. The more cones you hit, the less points you get. As it was for me to watch.
All right, let's keep talking.
The brink of the electric era, and that's going to change the game for everyone, whether they like it or not. But I think the exciting side of it is the electric side of it brings a lot more power. It's instant, and the characteristics of the bike become a lot different. So we're already seeing like guys like Patrick Evans rides a bike, and when he does a whip, he's able to get on angles that we've never seen before.
Because of the weight, maybe, of the battery, or?
It's because there's less gyro with the engine, so it allows the bike to roll quicker. And then because there's no gearbox, and you're able to hit the throttle, and it does like the full rotation of the back wheel, so that when you snap the throttle, you don't have to go through the gears to get the maximum RPM out of the back wheel. So with the twist of the throttle, that back wheel goes from stopped.
I can't wait to see how the donut crews use all the incredible sequences they shot with you.
To wide open in 5th gear in a few seconds in the electric version. So when you're able to whip the bike upside down, that inertia that the back wheel creates instantly creates inertia. So you're able to kind of use that to twist your back into shape quickly. So Patrick's been able to learn better than anyone else so far to get his bike upside down and use that electric inertia that he's created from the rear wheel to set him straight again. So that's changing the game, and I think the incorporation of electric bikes is going to just make differences. But for what I've done, distance jumping, jumping on buildings, stuff like that, I don't know, I wanted to raise the bar to a certain height and then step out, and I feel like I've done that for the most part, and there's just one more masterpiece to hang on the wall, and I'm going to follow my kids around.
They're almost ready to wrap up. But before, they have one more challenge for you.
What they want to do.
One last face-off. A little pure, unadulterated street racing, featuring 2 cars that embody the world-renowned German savoir-faire.